Why is this guy spazzing out over here? Look at him go, chat. This video is going to be unlike a single one I've done ever, I think. Outside of maybe like one video way before this channel even existed. But I was scrolling through Reddit, which is a terrible idea, I don't recommend it, and I came across this post in r/am I overreacting, and it's somebody asking, am I overreacting for getting the ick because a guy cheats at video games? Now, for my fellow millennials out there, an ick refers to when a woman or a man no longer wants to date the other person because that person does a certain action, right? So for me, an ick would be being rude to the waitstaff, right? If I go out on a date with someone and they are rude to the waitstaff, then I no longer want to date them. That gives me the ick. I don't want to date them anymore. It's whatever. So I was very interested in this post because my immediate first thought is, no, you're not overreacting. My immediate first thought out the gate is no. If somebody cheats in video games, it is very indicative to who they are as a person. I preach this a lot, not only on this channel, but in my day-to-day life. You can tell a lot about people by a lot of the minor things that they do. It refers to a philosophical statement that we'll talk about a little bit later called the shopping cart problem. But before we get into that, let's actually take a look at the post. So in the images of the post, I'm going to go ahead and just put them all up on screen for you to pause and read if you want to, but it's basically just some text messages that are going between the two of them where this guy outright admits that on Apex Legends he uses Zimming. Now Zimming is a way for console players to plug in a keyboard and mouse. Now I will admit that I have not played Apex in a very long time. I don't remember if they patched out the ability to Zim or if they found a way to let it work, or I'm not really sure. I don't remember. Overwatch might have done something around Zimming. I don't remember. But what I do remember is that back when I did play, Zimming was a permaban instantly. If you got caught Zimming on console, then you just instantly did not get to play the game anymore. Your account would be permabanned, and Respawn didn't tolerate that. But Zimming is essentially cheating because even if you play with crossplay on, console players cannot be put into PC lobbies without first partnering with a PC player. So if you're just solo queuing or you're playing with your buddies on PlayStation Network or whatever, you're only going against other console players, and mouse and keyboard is an incredible advantage in that situation. So let's go ahead and go through the post. I'm gonna try to read this as fast as possible because much like most young people, this young lady tends to ramble on. She says, I, female 21, have been talking to this guy, male 21, for a couple of days. Today we're texting and he mentions playing Apex. I'm excited because that's my game. I love Apex. You poor soul. Please find a better game to play. As you can see in the text, he said he was going to sit in the firing range and fix his cheats. And I'm like, there's no way he cheats on video games. Like what? I'm so confused. I call him and he mansplains what a Zim is, which is your first red flag. Again, some little terminology for you guys here. Mansplaining is when a man just assumes that a woman is stupid and doesn't know about the subject that he's talking about, and therefore just condescendingly explains what a subject is, okay? I have now mansplaining to you. She says, I'm already not feeling it because the entire phone call he was trying to justify cheating because it's, quote, fun. I'm not arguing with him on the phone. I'm just like, okay, cool, but at the end of the day, it's still cheating. That's weird to me, but okay. From what he explains, you're tricking your console into thinking you're still using a controller, but you're actually on mouse and keyboard, but able to have no recoil and better aim assist. He literally goes into the history of Zims and how this isn't even that bad. And I just want to pause for a second here. Zimming is horrible. It is 100% cheating, and it is giving you cheating is giving you an unfair advantage on the rest of the lobby. So I don't like cheaters in any capacity, so this weirds me out. I just think it's odd to go out of your way to cheat on a video game. You are correct. Maybe I'm wrong for caring so much, but it's literally just a video game. But if it, oh my god, she typed this weird. Maybe I'm wrong for caring so much, but it's supposed to be if it's literally just a video game, why cheat? So I get off the phone with him and text him like 15 minutes after the phone call with that message, and I guess he really wants to argue. I should have just blocked him immediately after that message, but I didn't. Wish I did. This is just a lesson for all you young people. Once you are done talking to somebody, block them, ignore them, don't bother. It's going to end up hurting your mental a lot. She goes on to say, my way of thinking it was probably extreme, but if you can cheat on a game, what else can you cheat on? Obviously, he took offense to that. Again, should have just blocked him instead of going back and forth. He obviously just wanted to argue and get under my skin because I didn't want to talk to him anymore. This is a very important point. This is what I was saying about the shopping cart problem. We'll read the rest in just a moment. But the shopping cart problem basically says that somebody who doesn't put their shopping cart back in the cart corral at the grocery store says a lot about them as a person. If you cannot take a few extra seconds out of your day to make sure that you are not inconveniencing other people, then what kind of person are you in your day-to-day life? I often talk about how you can gain so much information from people doing what are considered minor things, because it takes certain types of people to do certain minor actions, and cheating in a video game to me is a red flag. That means that this person puts their fun above the fun of literally everybody else in the entire world. That means that this person has no problem with doing underhanded things. That means that this person sees their ego as so fragile that they cannot handle losing in a video game, and therefore they have to give themselves such a gigantic unfair advantage that losing is almost an impossibility in the right circumstances. And if people have these three types of qualities, which usually leads to them cheating in a video game, then those qualities are going to reflect itself in other phases of life. Yeah, maybe he won't cheat on you in like a relationship, but there's a very good chance that if you bruise his ego by being better than him in something, he might lash out in anger. More than likely he will. There's a very good chance that because he puts his fun above literally everybody else playing the game, that he's probably a little bit selfish. So you're probably going to find yourself having to do chores that he doesn't want to do because he finds them to be, you know, a woman's job, or maybe he's just going to be lazy in general. Maybe it's not even a misogyny thing. He's just lazy and doesn't want to do anything around the house. There's so many different things that you can glean from the fact that he cheats in a video game, and it all goes back to the philosophical shopping cart problem. She then goes on to say, then he brings up my ex, and ouch, that hurts. Backstory to that, we were on the phone a couple of days ago and we talked about our past relationships. I opened up to him about my ex discovering his sexuality and exploring with other people. He told me about his ex-girlfriend being abusive toward him, using him for money and cheating on him, and it turned into a venting session, but I didn't mind. Maybe I was wrong for caring so much that he cheats in a video game, but also why cheat? I should have just blocked him immediately after the phone call and been a loser that ghosts people. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. You repeat yourself entirely too much, but here's the thing. I just want to be just completely upfront and honest with you. Yes, people who are losers ghost people, but you didn't have to ghost him. You could have just said, I don't want to date someone who cheats on video games, and then blocked him. Now you're 21. You just came out of the womb yesterday. I'm not going to hold you to too much here, but I just want you to understand that this is like the beginning of you kind of understanding like what maturing is about. And maturing is not putting up with people's bullshit and recognizing the red flags and backing out before they happen. So I just want you guys to understand that at the end of the day, it is the right decision to not date someone who cheats in video games. You're not overreacting. Now, I'm not going to scroll through the comments. You can if you want to. I've already told you what subreddit this is in and what the title is. You can go look for it. If I remember, I'll leave it linked in the description down below. But I've already spoken at length about the shopping cart problem and how it relates to this. And I just want to dig a little deeper into that. If you are going to judge somebody's character, you need to understand what a lot of actions mean. If somebody cheats in a video game, they are more than likely going to have fragile egos, they are going to be incredibly selfish, and they probably are even going to be like very, what's the word I'm looking for? Shortcutty is not a word, but it's the only word that I could think of. And what I basically mean is that they're going to cut corners in ways that are going to negatively impact either your life, their life, or more than likely both. Dating and living with somebody who cheats in video games is going to snowball, and you're going to see these personality traits reflected in other things that they do in real life. There is this idea among mostly incels, to be honest with you, that their bad behaviors on the internet are not reflective of their behaviors out in the real world. That if they are horrible people, if they act like an asshole to other people online, but they don't do that in the real world, and they actually do, and you can normally tell a lot about a person by the things that they say, the things that they do, even if these are not major qualities. When you learn how to read these red flags, and you learn through, honestly, it's just experience at this point, how to recognize when somebody is going to end up being a bad idea to be around, your life is going to get a hell of a lot easier. This happens to me all the time. I cannot count the number of times where I see somebody and they're doing something that a lot of people seem to see as innocuous or not that bad, but I can recognize the underlying personality traits that lead to those actions, and I'm like, bad feeling about that. I'm just going to avoid that person, and then it comes out later that that person happened to be an asshole or abusive or toxic in some kind of way. Now, granted, you're not always going to be able to see how someone's going to turn out to be, but a lot of times people will tell you who they are, and when they tell you who they are, you should listen to them. So are you overreacting? No, not at all. In fact, I think you should have just said, I don't date cheaters, and blocked the guy and moved on for your own mental health. But no, I think you're just fine. Thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate the you guys watching this shift in video tone. As always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.